So good morning, and it's a pleasure to be here today. I unfortunately have some limitations in terms of the languages I speak. I speak some languages, but not Danish nor Greenlandic, and I apologize. I hope I will speak slowly because I want to make sure that we also make the most out of this session. This session is about making the case, and as you will see, we'll have excellent speakers that will bring us very important topics that I believe you have already highlighted here in these first dialogues that you've been having around the tables. One of the things that I would like to say is that I get very honored to be here discussing with you not only the dream that you have, but also the fact that I have seen that dreams do come true. And I can tell you that it's not just about hope, it's about reality. It's about what evidence can bring to change the context where we live. I can tell you about a country where more than half of the men, 60% of the men, were dying prematurely, so early in life, 60%. And 30% of the women because of alcohol. So this country was losing its population, its men and its women to alcohol. And this country has shifted, has changed this reality once it really became a collective understanding that they were losing their country, they were losing their people, and they have addressed the matter by putting in place policies, evidence-based measures that have allowed the country to shift, to gain years of life back, and to have today a situation where you do no longer see the men and the women dying from alcohol-related consequences. And it's been a big shift, so it's possible and it can happen. And with this, I would also like to say, why is it that, and maybe let me just put a slide here. Why is it that alcohol is a substance that is responsible for killing so many people? Well, to start the discussions, it's good to understand that alcohol its harm is determined by two things. I don't think you will see it there, you only see the effects, but there are two things that determine the harm of alcohol. First of all, the volume. So meaning the quantity of alcohol that is drank, okay? And then the pattern, meaning the way we drink alcohol. And this pattern is related to both the frequency, if we drink, on a very frequent basis, and also on the amount that we drink per episode. So these two factors, the amount of alcohol and the pattern of alcohol, they interlink and they have consequences, and the consequences that they have are brought by the fact that there are direct mechanisms that are linked to the harm that it causes. So alcohol is not a normal kind of, we call it commodity substance. It causes harm because of its toxic effects to the body, And this is very visible, for example, on a syndrome called FASD, fetal alcohol syndrome, and responsible for many children being born with serious cognitive development problems, for example. It's very toxic. It's so toxic as well that destroys DNA and causes cancer. So it's not about, the quantity, it's about a relationship that the more you drink, the higher the risk, but the risk exists at a lower level. Then the other thing is not only the toxic effects of the substance per se, ethanol, so alcohol, the substance that causes all this harm to the body is called ethanol, and it's in all the drinks, in beer, in wine, in spirits, it's everywhere in those drinks, and the effects are there, but also causes the second feature, it's intoxication. So it is a substance that once you ingest this substance, it brings a change to your body and is responsible for intoxication. So of course that the intoxication is a status that many times leads to what we know well, impaired coordination at the beginning, of course, cognition, but we know that it also has an impact in behavior, and because it takes away your capacity to use a part of the brain which gives you the capacity to decide and to reason about, your behavior. So you're just basically out there without a filter that supports your reasoning. And this is the effect of intoxication under alcohol. And then the third important mechanism is dependence. Alcohol is a psychoactive substance, and it is also responsible for the fact that people lose control over their decision-making processes and find themselves in situations where they can no longer decide and they are impaired in terms of their behavior. So this results in what we have there. It's a kind of a ripple effect. And this is about the fact that it results in different types of negative outcomes. And the negative outcomes are not only about, for example, the development of chronic diseases, which we know well, liver diseases, heart diseases that are linked to alcohol consumption, like hypertensive disease, but also to acute health consequences that we also know well, like, for example, injuries. These are acute health consequences. Injuries, you have a traffic accident, you end up in a hospital. So this is about, those effects which are acute health consequences. But we also have acute and chronic social consequences. And this is about violence. This is about neglect. This is about even economic losses for countries. Because due to premature mortality, the impact in economy from alcohol consumption is huge, as has been reported also by the OECD in its report on alcohol. So it is a ripple effect because it's not just about one vertical impact, it's about many impacts that interact, that are interlinked, and that are out there to really bring, a harm that can destroy the populations, can destroy people's lives, and has been one of the major risk factor, and it is the major risk factor for premature mortality, especially in young people.